So Jude Bellingham is going to be one of the biggest targets in Europe next summer when it looks like he's most likely to leave Borussia Dortmund. He's 19 years old, England regular, proving the Champions League, and it's no surprise that Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Chelsea are all keen to sign the midfielder from Dortmund. Now, at the moment, Liverpool probably thought they were the favourites to sign him. They've been interested in Bellingham for a good while now, and during the summer, they looked at signing Bellingham, but it was clear that having let Erling Haaland go to Man City, that Dortmund weren't going to let their second best player go at the same time. So the idea was to wait until summer of 2023, make a move for Bellingham then. At that point, the likes of Jordan Henderson, James Milner, probably phased out at Anfield. Now, that's the plan. That's Liverpool's way of working these days. They are long strategic planners. They try and get the deals done ahead of time. But the situation has changed so much at Anfield since the summer. Having been at the Champions League final, come very close to win the Premier League, they've made a disastrous start to the season. Is it 7 times out of 9 games this season they've gone behind? And the midfield is beginning to look old. It's looking like a midfield that's got players that are either too old, too injury prone, or both. And you look at Henderson, Milner, Thiago Alcantara, all in the 30s. Fabinho is the one player that Jurgen Klopp can kind of rely upon to be available in midfield. It's got young players like Curtis Jones, again, fitness-wise has been an issue. He's got Harvey Elliott, again, shows huge promise. But right now, Liverpool needs someone that they can rely upon to be playing every week, to give consistent performances, and they haven't got that. So Bellingham is obviously a target, but the situation is that if Liverpool are struggling to find form this season, they may struggle to get into the top 4 at the end of the season. It's early days, obviously, but the way Liverpool have started suggests they're going to have a battle, certainly, to finish top of the league, but they're already 11 points behind Arsenal. So will they be such an attractive proposition to Bellingham next summer as they were maybe 2 or 3 months ago? Clearly, Man City are going to be interested, despite the fact they've got Rodri and Calvin Phillips there. Bellingham would make City better, so ordinarily they'd go for a player that will make them better. Man United also want Bellingham. Again, if they are a team that's not in the Champions League next summer, as they're not this season, it'll hit their chances. And they've been close to signing Bellingham before when they tried to get him when he left Birmingham for Dortmund 2.5 years ago, but he chose to go to Dortmund on that occasion. So are Man United more of an appealing prospect right now? Maybe, maybe not, but if they finish the season in the top 4, get into the Champions League, then they may be a club that are on the up again. Chelsea, again, a club that needs a midfielder. They could be in the Champions League next summer, maybe not. It depends on the situation that they have to find themselves in right now with Graham Potter having replaced Thomas Tuchel. So there's a lot of situations with Bellingham that there's a state of flux about the Premier League clubs you could go to. So City obviously have the money, they have the ambition, they have the success, they have Pep Guardiola, would be a strong candidate to sign Jude Bellingham. If he doesn't go to City, obviously he'll have options in Europe. Bayern Munich could be keen, Barcelona, Real Madrid. He's that type of player, he's that good a player. But if he's going to come to the Premier League, Liverpool will not have it all their own way. And he could find that if the likes of Man United, Chelsea are also in the running, he becomes too expensive for them to sign. So the fact they didn't sign him in the summer when it was obvious then they needed reinforcements in midfield, Jurgen Klopp made it clear he needed reinforcements in midfield until he got Arthur Melo on the last day of the window. Liverpool might find themselves priced out of the market for a player that they've been looking at for a long time. So it's a big moment for Liverpool. They have to get their season back on track. They have to make sure that they can qualify for the Champions League next year. If they do that, if they finish in the top 4, then their case to sign Bellingham is much stronger. But equally, if they do, you might look at Liverpool and think, I'm not going to be a saviour in that midfield. There's a lot of midfield that needs replacing. Will Thiago, will Henderson, will Milner be around? Will Naby Keita be around? It could be a rebuild at Liverpool in the midfield. So it's a big question for Jude Bellingham when he comes to decide his future. But whatever he decides, or wherever he wants to go, he's going to have a lot of clubs queuing up for his signature. He could be the 2023 version of Erling Haaland. He can take his pick because he's that good a player.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.